A Virginia Marital Settlement Agreement is a contract used between two spouses who are entering the divorce process and looking to communicate how they'd like to divide property, assets, debt, child custody, child support payments, alimony, and all other shared responsibilities. Aside from recording all pertinent post-divorce arrangements, reaching a settlement outside the court system can yield an accelerated process and fewer costs. Therefore, this video looks to describe a settlement contract and its functions, as well as some specific legal requirements in Virginia, in order to alleviate the divorce action for both spouses. Now, let's dive right in. First, let's take a look at the importance of marital settlement agreements. A formal written agreement includes a calculation of the amount of spousal or alimony and child support, records all of the details behind the grounds for divorce, can avoid a drawn-out trial in circuit court, allows the couple to divide their shared marital assets such as real estate or any vehicles, documents the mutual agreement in writing with all parties' signatures, acting as consent, can be kept as evidence in case any legal disputes arise, and specifies any custody arrangement, whether joint or sole custody. Both spouses can quicken the proceedings by creating this document and submitting it to the court-appointed judge. Do keep in mind that both spouses must consent to the agreement, which is easier said than done. Some divorces are more complicated than others, and the couple may be unable to reach an arrangement without mediation or legal representation. That being said, some couples can in fact reach a mutually beneficial compromise through open and empathetic negotiations. Doing so stands to save money that would otherwise be spent on a costly divorce attorney. Now, moving on, let's review some of the legal requirements in Virginia. Virginia is one of the 41 states governed by equitable distribution law. Equitable distribution is the fair dispersion of assets, which means the distribution is not necessarily divided evenly or right down the middle. Instead, distributions are left to the discretion of a judge who will separate property based on equitable law if the spouses are unable to reach a settlement before a trial or face a heavily contested divorce. When applying equitable distribution, the courts often take into account the duration of the marriage, what each spouse paid for, employability of each spouse, assets and debts of each spouse or combined, and sources of income and amounts. Keep in mind, such equitable divides may be avoided by completing a settlement outside of the court system, but even then, a judge may reject the couple's agreement if he or she deems it unfair to one party or otherwise unjust under legal parameters. In such instances, the judge can, and often does, ask the spouses to amend the contract or request specific changes to a section of the contract. And finally, two more noteworthy legal matters involve residency and children. Let's take a deeper look. No divorce will be granted unless one of the spouses has been a resident of Virginia for a period of at least 6 months. This requisite is fairly standard, and most couples will fulfill it by default. However, some couples from out of town may be affected, and the execution of a settlement agreement can be used by couples without minor children to reduce the obligatory separation period by half, from a year to 6 months. Essentially, couples without children can file for divorce after 6 months of being separated, whereas those with minor children have to wait 1 year to file for a no-fault divorce, which is the legal grounds a separation falls under. Once the settlement is complete and requirements are met, one of the spouses can file an action in court. All told, the process takes about 3 months. We're eForms, the largest database of legal documents. We have created an expansive and state-specific template that covers every last detail of the Virginia Marital Settlement Agreement. To get this official template that can be used to file for divorce in your local circuit court, simply click on the link below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily videos.